The year is 1999, and you've just snuck out of a stuffy family gathering to boot up your uncle's brand new copy of Gran Turismo 2. You place the disc in, boot up the game, and are immediately met with three impressions. 1. This game is freaking awesome. 2. These gold licenses are goddamned impossible. And 3. What the hell is this big red dustpan in his garage? That dustpan, dear viewer, is the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak Special 1998. It's what's called a hill climb or time attack car. In common parlance, this translates to one of the fastest things ever created by man. Well, ones that do more than just going in a straight line anyway. The Escudo was Polyphony Digital breaking the power structure of their own career mode and basically putting a cheat code in the Suzuki dealership. My childhood memories, and those of every other racing fan of my generation, consisted of using the Escudo for every event, pinning the throttle, and steering by bouncing off the trackside barriers, much like a 300 kph game of pinball. The Escudo became ubiquitous with the series, appearing in almost every single Gran Turismo game over the last 23 years. And now, it's also available in Gran Turismo 7. A lot has changed in racing physics and graphics over 20 years, so this begs the question, is the Escudo still the overpowered beast it once was in the late 90s? Well, there's only one way to find out. Yes, that would have been to send it up a virtual version of the Pikes Peak hill climb, which is specifically what it was created for. But since Gran Turismo 7 doesn't have Pikes Peak, we're going to do the next best thing. Shoot it down the longest, most treacherous racetrack in the world, the Nurburgring Nordschleife. While the Nordschleife loads, consider shooting on over to that subscribe button for future nostalgic goodness. And while you're down there, leave me a comment letting me know what else you want to see recreated on the Nordschleife. With the car lightly tuned for more aggressive balance, using its completely stock parts, we're now ready to go. Old men rejoice, it's 1999 again, we're packed into our Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak Special, and I'm going to use this opportunity, that snap to talk about something that we took for normal back in the late 90s. See, there was this little thing called turbo lag, which we're all very familiar with. When we pushed our pedals down to the metal, nothing actually happened. We would look at our wristwatches and count the time down and think, wow, am I going to be this late to dinner? Then, upon the car slowly building its revs to 5,000 RPM, our turbochargers surged like so many jet engines and we were rocketed down, pummeled back into our seat, shot down the highway at over 200 kph. Turbo lag is something the Escudo recreates amazingly. This car is bipolar. In the lower revs, as we go through fluke plots now, just slightly lifting, the aero balance very interesting on this car. At the low revs, this car is like a shopping trolley. It doesn't do much of anything. It has perpetual understeer, but the moment the revs kick in, oh my lord, it can snap out on you at the drop of a hat. As we brake hard for Arenberg, nice and neat entry. The first section of the Nürburgring has actually gone quite well for me so far. No crazy snaps, but put a pin in that idea, put a pin in that thought, because undoubtedly over the next coming couple of minutes we are going to experience the best and the worst of the Escudos. As I understeer, get a snap on the exit, the torque dump from downshifting is insane on this car. If the revs are too high, you are going to lose the rear end. It doesn't matter how much weight of aero you have leaving out in our force, they almost lost the rear end of the car again, so you can see that every bit of lap time is worked for in this very impressive beast of a car. As we slightly lift the throttle there, downshift down to third. Got to be on our guard here in Sector 2 of the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Things get very animated very quickly. See, this car's aero balance is not so much like a modern F1 or a modern hypercar where you just plant it and you know that it's basically on rails. No. You can see it's like tilting in one direction, then the other. It's like oversteer, understeer, oversteer, understeer. As we head down the slowest corner of the Nürburgring, the car seemingly suffering from perpetual understeer in the slower corners there. Of course, a hallmark of early four-wheel drive systems. Getting down into third, things get very interesting through here as we get down to third again, trying not to lose the rear on the exit. Car nice and stable through there, the four-wheel drive keeping us nice and well planted. Now, you know, things get very interesting It very much drives like a car from the 90s. You can oh my god, it lacks that refinement of the modern day automobiles. You know it's capable of speed, but you know that you also need the bravery and commitment to extract that speed. It isn't just a matter of planting the throttle, trail braking nice and neatly and doing nice textbook inputs. It's gonna bite back. It's just a matter of time until it snaps out on you. Now this is an interesting section with this car. We slightly lift the throttle. We managed to get through there, not so bad, and again, as the car the aero balance, the lift-off oversteer, it's just constantly keeping you on your guard as we unfortunately brake a little bit too late there, understeer through that corner, heading into the infamous carousel. How is this gonna go? Nice entry, almost leave the carousel halfway through, but still quite nice, shifting nice and early. We don't want to bang off the rev limiter too much. Heading into Sector 3, this is sure to be exciting if nothing else. We downshift, turn in, keeping the car relatively stable. I'm reasonably happy with this. In fourth, I do not have the cojones to go down to third there. That just would not have been a good time. It gets very interesting here into Whipperman. Oh man, she's all over the place. Oh, she's all over the place. It hates bottoming out. The aero stalls at the drop of a hat. But of course, we have to keep the ride height nice and low. If we don't, we lose oh so much lap time. Into Brunchen now, just the snaps are real. More snappy than Captain Crunch. All right. So far, so good. I'm a little bit concerned about the jump coming up here. If the aero's gonna stall anyway, it might be here. So we just drift. We casually drift to 200 kph. Absolutely fine. And now as we blast down through the slalom, maxing out at about 305, 304 kph, crazy, down to fifth. The car's balance is not good. It is not instilling the confidence in me, that's for sure. Through the mini carousel, not too bad. On the accelerator nice and early. This car, of course, drives like any 90s car. You just want to get the nose down as quickly as possible, beat that understeer, and then get on the throttle. Oh my god, look at that balance! It wants to murder itself. Doesn't know if it wants to over or understeer or do both at the same time. Oh, the 90s. Oh, to live through that decade again. Anyway, the goal is point the nose down the corner, out through the exit, get on the throttle as soon as possible and use the throttle to rotate the rear end. There ain't no nice, neat trail braking here. It's basically throw the car into the corner, slam the throttle and just pray from there on out. Now it's going to be very interesting. Flat out all the way through here. Nice short brake zone, aggressive brake zone. Third, get on that curb, nice and neat through there. Down to second, rotate the car, yes, get on that throttle, rotate the rear end, and across the line for a 540.8. That is damned impressive. While it, very understandably, didn't beat our highly modified Porsche 919, any Nordschleife time in the 5-minute range is absolutely nuts. To think that a car from 1998 can manage this with its standard parts? Absolutely crazy. It definitely doesn't come easy, however, and the car has you working for every single one of those seconds. That late 90s turbo lag is ballistic and can catch you unaware the moment your attention lapses. Add to that, the car's snappy aero balance actually makes you feel less secure, which means pushing to its limits requires some brass ones. One thing that'll make you feel a lot more secure, however, is hitting that subscribe button for more nostalgia rides and Nordschleife hot laps. Consider grabbing some of the awesome FANATEC gear this was recorded with in the links down below to help support the channel, and until next time, I'll see you all later.